Welcome back, guys, to another video. Let's talk about Tesla because there's some pretty big things going on with the overall company. So let's just dive right in. And Tesla, if you check out the 1 week chart for the share price, you can clearly see there's a lot of stimulation. Share prices absolutely surged up after hours to a peak of 14%. Now, the share prices, they will fluctuate, but the main thing is after this massive increase in the share price, we should be seeing a lot of renewed interest for Tesla. If you guys have been watching my videos on a daily basis, you probably have noticed me covering a ton of different topics about this EV company. It's become a pretty big deal and people seem to love the company. There's more and more catalysts. There's more and more events being piled on top of the company. I've been saying multiple times that what Tesla really needs is a major stimulation of the stock, possibly some enormous event to cause people to have renewed interest in the company. Because at this current moment, a lot of companies and a lot of people are not investing in Tesla shares because there's so many other appealing companies out there to play around with. For example, Palantir, it's surging to all-time highs. NIO, XPeng, the Chinese car manufacturer out there, those guys, the stocks are absolutely soaring. People want to play things that have a lot of volatility. Now, obviously though, Tesla right now, it's kind of lost the volatility, but that's a good thing because they're now officially joining the S&P 500. And after lining up some great profits for 5 consecutive quarters in a row, they really do deserve this. I mean, it's going to be expected that they join the S&P 500 in my opinion, after being one of the most valuable companies in the world and the biggest and the most valuable car manufacturer in the world. It's not a big surprise since Tesla is now worth more than $400 billion. They're one of the biggest companies in the world and they're the biggest car manufacturer in the world. Now, obviously, they don't produce that many cars compared to other people, but we're just looking at the valuation, market cap, and share price at this current moment. And they're worth twice the valuation of Toyota. And so far, Tesla, after being super flat for several weeks, it actually has demonstrated that it's worth $400 billion because the share prices never dipped below 400. And even when they did, it bounced up as soon as it can. Now, Tesla didn't like to be above $450. It likes to hover between 400 and 450 for a very long time. And joining the S&P 500 obviously makes it a major powerhouse. Now, major institution investors are going to have to be taking Tesla a lot more seriously nowadays. Now, enough of the stock talk. Let's talk about the Boring Company because Musk, Boring Company, is going to be adding more stops to the Las Vegas Loop tunnels. Now, if you check out these plans for the Las Vegas Loop, it looks pretty incredible, honestly. I mean, you got the Vegas Loop, you got different paths. It's going to be extremely fast, way more efficient, way more convenient, and faster than a subway station. And this is going to be a really, really good deal. I mean, Las Vegas, it's a pretty big place. If they add this loop, it's going to be improving the transportation of a lot of people. Keep in mind, if Las Vegas approves the final decision on this, it will be a big deal since not only would this become a major vacation tourist hotspot, sounds kind of crazy, but I could guarantee you a ton of major Tesla fans, even myself, will probably visit Las Vegas partly for the reason of checking out the Boring Company's loops. And they should be making these as soon as they can when it gets approved. Cool thing about the Boring Company loop is it's way cheaper than a normal subway station. In New York City, if you want to make a mile of subway tunnel underneath, for example, Manhattan and Hudson Yards, let's just say, well, it's going to cost you about $1.5 to $2.5 billion per mile. That's expensive. But with the Boring Company's loop, it's only $10 million per mile. So it's literally spare change compared to New York City's subway tunnels. And subways are really expensive. They're super wide, whereas the Boring Company with these smaller tunnels are way more efficient. And since everything is more autonomous and more AI based, and it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot sleeker. Obviously, though, Las Vegas seems to like it. I was pretty surprised when the Boring Company received its first official approval for the expansion of its Vegas loop. Now, the Planning Commission liked it a lot, and they actually openly support the Boring Company's project, probably because that if they do get this loop underneath Las Vegas, they will have this really big advantage compared to other cities out there. I mean, all the other US cities are just using these old subway stations, whereas Las Vegas over here is all super fancy and using all of these different high-tech stuff. I mean, Las Vegas, if we do get this loop first, once again, it could be a major vacation hotspot because a lot of people want to check it out. They'll flock there and so on. Before the recommendation, the Planning Commission even want to get involved in it. They even suggested adding a stop to the loop in the Arts District. I was pretty surprised that the city of Las Vegas was this supportive of Elon Musk's Boring Company loop, but hey, this is honestly great news. If you check out the Twitter, of course, City of Las Vegas, it says at Boring Company is presenting to the Planning Commission about the request to create tunnels located beneath downtown Las Vegas for a monorail system. This is pretty awesome, and they're also saying that it will be approved in the future meetings for the final approval. And you also have another tweet from the city of Las Vegas submitting different pictures from Tesla. You can see the at Boring Company has submitted an application for the possible expansion of their underground Tesla shuttle system into downtown Las Vegas. So if you check out the overall images, you can clearly see the loop actually extends to a lot of different areas in downtown Las Vegas. You will see the Tesla vehicles being lined up as well. And we will be seeing Tesla shuttles ferrying people from left and right. So it's kind of like a collaboration between Tesla and Boring Company, and they're both owned by Elon Musk. It's going to be a pretty big deal. Let's just see what happens. If it does come out and it shows some really good effectiveness, we could be seeing the whole entire nation being transformed with the Boring Company and with a bunch of Tesla shuttles. I can pretty much tell you, since Tesla is so closely linked with the Boring Company, if the Boring Company does kick off, we could be seeing a huge new transportation revolution, and of course, share prices are definitely going up. Last but not least, before we wrap up the video, is Volkswagen. So, the Volkswagen Group just announced that it will be accelerating increasing investments in electric vehicles and also the software and self-driving technology. They kind of want to be very similar to Tesla. Now, what Volkswagen's doing right now is kind of becoming more like Elon Musk's company. Instead of being like Ford, Porsche, or Mercedes, which are just simply researching the electric vehicle themselves and just simply want to set up a factory and start cranking out sales, Volkswagen is starting a major hiring spree for the self-driving technology sector and also their software sector for their cars. They know the reason why Tesla is so successful. They know the reason why Tesla's valuation is $400 billion isn't because they sell more cars than other people. It's because of their self-driving technology, their battery company, and all the other branches that come out of the Tesla brand. And right now, the CEO of Volkswagen has been one of the most realistic guys out there. He actually has shown a lot of respect for Tesla's lead in the market. He never really said anything bad about Tesla. He respects it. He likes Tesla's grind and also how Tesla actually focuses heavily on the techie software aspect rather than just the vehicles themselves. And they even are setting up a brand new team for software, and Volkswagen wants to be a major player. And they actually kind of want to compete with Tesla, and it just shows you that even such a big company like the Volkswagen Group, the CEO respects what Musk is doing. And so far, the automaker Volkswagen shows off a lot of investments and a lot of interest in electrification, digital technology, and also much, much more. And so far, you got Tesla, they're ramping up heavily. I mean, they got a presence in Berlin, Europe right now. They got a huge presence in China with the Shanghai Gigafactory. They also got the Austin Gigafactory and also the Fremont Gigafactory. It's looking pretty good. They're also thinking about opening up more stores and also more charging stations. They're expanding like crazy. Every single month, Tesla always improves by a little bit. Even crazier, more stuff are coming out. I could kind of see Tesla combining everything more closely together. The Tesla ecosystem is honestly unbreakable. They got charging stations, they got driver's insurance, they got autopilot. Now they got the Boring Company loop. Honestly though, even right now, buying a Tesla vehicle is becoming more and more appealing as the days go by since more things are being added into the car. This is a car company that's unlike anything we've ever seen before. It's very different from Mercedes, Porsche, GM, etc. So let's just see what happens. This is pretty much some news pieces and major Tesla events. Tesla being included in the S&P 500. You also have the Boring Company with massive Las Vegas approval. And on top of that, Volkswagen actually respecting and thinking that Tesla is still a really good company and how Volkswagen, even themselves, are now focusing on the software aspect than just simply the vehicle aspect. Thanks for watching, guys, and comment below.